What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about the next phase of drama for Hogwarts Legacy, and this is ResetEra. Now, I'm going to skip the promotional stuff, although, of course, if you want to subscribe and hit the bell, that would be totally cool, but I'm going to skip all that, and this is going to definitely be one of the more controversial topics that I do. And I know, we just talked about this. We talked about Kotaku and a lot of people going after the lead designer of this game, right, for all that the stuff that he was doing on YouTube. We had the whole video on that. Make sure you guys check out that video. It's very, very important. I probably would assume if you guys are confused by maybe how I think here, definitely go watch that. And I think you guys could catch up. But one of the very interesting things that happened because of all that. So remember when I said that, I expect that from Kotaku. Kotaku is like the scum of the earth when it comes to, gaming journalism, okay? So, you expect it from them. But when you have some of my favorite websites, like reposting and saying, and PC Gamer and PlayStation Universe and Push Square and all these guys, they're pushing this thing, it's very disappointing. And it makes it a big deal. And let me say this again, make sure you guys go watch that video. But number one, I pray this guy isn't fired. I pray he isn't fired because it's not right. It's not right. Again, you don't have to agree with anything that he said on that YouTube channel. I could care less. And I hope they could care less. And that's the most important thing, is that hopefully you just don't care. You could let them say whatever they want. If it was the reverse way and it was people talking about whatever you want to say about it, are you going to fire them because they're speaking out? So hopefully he's okay. Hopefully, everything is fine there. But here's the deal. Because of that, and I don't want to short them. I don't want to tell you guys basically fake news. The stuff with J.K. Rowling, that was a major thing as well for why they quote unquote banned it. So what am I talking about in case you guys don't know? Well, ResetEra banned basically any and it sounds weird to say, but positive talk about Hogwarts Legacy. They specifically talk about you can't repost trailers, promotional things, but they also talk about how you can't talk about it unless you're talking about these kind of issues. So it's almost like, and actually, you know what? I'm not even going to say almost. People will say, oh, you're being maybe too harsh on it, or you're being too direct, or maybe you're like missing one thing or the other thing. I'm going to go fully with my heart here. It's a joke that how I'm sensing it. They're basically saying any positivity, any reposting of cool things for Hogwarts Legacy, and they literally say some of these things in the statement, you can't do it. You're completely banned. But if you want to talk about anti-J.K. Rowling stuff, if you want to talk about this lead designer and attack him, if you want to talk about any negatives about the politics of the situation, feel free to post it here. What kind of website, what kind of garbage humans, what kind of garbage website is that? That is despicable. And here's the first thing people will say. Well, it's their website. They can do whatever they want. Okay, people always say that. People say that with Twitter. Here's the deal. I'm not one of those people that, no, I have a Parler. I think I've posted one thing on it. But my point is, I'm not one of those people that are I'm just going to run off to other platforms, okay? But just to give you guys kind of a sense of where I'm at, I'm completely okay with that group of people's thinking because, and I hate it when people come at them because it's okay, well, when you say, well, we don't like how Twitter does their stuff, we want to do their own website, and then people normally, again, on the left, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong, I'm truly not, there's a lot of bad people on the right, there's a lot of bad people on the left, and it's not really about politics, but you'll hear people say, well, go ahead, go start your own thing, or people will say, well, if you don't like it, you can leave and go start your own thing. Well, then they start it, and then that site literally gets taken down. And then Parler literally gets shut down for whatever stupid reason they make up because obviously they just don't want people talking there. You know what I mean? And if you guys don't see that sucks, but that truly is how it is. So that's kind of the case here where it's well, yeah, you're going to have the people saying, well, it's ResetEra. They can do whatever they want. It's their website. Go start somewhere else. But then if you talk about it somewhere else, I guarantee you a hate mob is going to attack that place too. You know what I mean? So that obviously that's taking it a little bit on a tangent, but I do think it's important that people kind of open their eyes to that issue. Yes, it's their right to do whatever they want. It's their website. They can ban speech on whatever they want. At the same time, it is pretty stupid. Now, here's the deal. I'm not on ResetEra, so I don't know if I could find examples of the reverse, but I guarantee you could find it on the reverse. In fact, what they basically admitted in the post, in the banning, is that if you want to attack people, if you want to attack J.K. Rowling, now, yeah, has she said bad stuff? That's up to you to decide. You could love her, you could hate her. I have no problem if you hate her, if you despise her. If you have a picture of her and you throw knives at it, that's fine. Or if you have a picture and you draw hearts around it, that's fine too. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. But the point is, they're saying, well, if you say something positive about her, no. If you say something negative about her, feel free to come onto our website. Isn't that like the worst possible thing? Aren't you like inciting violence on your own site towards individuals? You know what I mean? And again, I'm sure there'll be people saying, Alex, you're taking it too far. Nah, I mean, I guess, but I'm kind of done with pretending for certain things, you know what I mean? Or kind of like holding back. That it's disgusting. It's disgusting. And this, by the way, from what I know, this is the only time they've ever done that. Normally, they don't ban like games or like big groupings of ideas. That's what they're doing. They're banning the discussion of anything Hogwarts Legacy because of that stuff. I mean, come on. Well, then bans, again, like I can't think of any example off the top of my head or something that maybe happens on ResetEra that could be used as an example of like, well, you do it the opposite way. So why, other than, again, the J.K. Rowling and this lead designer guy. So it's awful. Quick funny story. And I don't know the intricacies of ResetEra, so maybe this makes me look like an idiot. That's okay. I tried to sign up for it once because a lot of actually good leaks and good like people that like know stuff, they actually are on ResetEra, okay? So I tried to sign up one day and it said that my email or my account, like I literally couldn't do it. Like they rejected me. They said like I didn't have a thing. And I don't know why. And the thing is like, well, maybe is it because of the videos I make or is it because I use Gmail and like you're not allowed to use Gmail for something like that? So I don't know the exact reason, but I've actually tried to get on ResetEra before and was basically told, like, it's not like they didn't email me and say, Dear Alex from Podcast Now, you aren't allowed on our platform. It was like one of those messages, but it was like that you're not allowed to have an account on the site. So I don't know what was going on there, but I don't want to be. Honestly, again, this is one of those things, like, I don't want to be part of the site. I'd rather go to a different site where you could talk about, and again, isn't that just setting a bad example for the future? Yes, it's on ResetEra, but again, going back to that one more time, and this is where we'll end the video. It's bigger than people saying, again, the whole, oh, just go to your own thing, or they'll laugh and they'll say, oh, these idiots, they stay here when they could easily just go on to their own thing. And then they go on to their own thing, they get attacked there the same, and they may actually get shut down. That site may get shut down. So you have that whole stuff going on, but isn't it a bad example to set where you say there's this website, a pretty prominent leaking rumors discussion, that'd be like Reddit or YouTube or stuff like that, so keep that in mind. I'll connect the dots. That would be, you're telling them you're not allowed to talk about this, but you're allowed to talk about the negative of it. Well, what if that makes its way? Because we know these things on the internet tend to basically invade and like infect other things. What if all of a sudden YouTube is like, you know what? We stand for righteousness. YouTube is always trying to take the moral high ground, even though they're 99% not on that side. But they'll say, hey, we don't support, transphobic attacks, or we don't support people who make anti this kind of videos, even though they made it on your own website. We don't support that. On YouTube, if you say anything positive about Hogwarts Legacy, you're gone. And again, I get that's a pretty big leap. YouTube is a lot different than ResetEra, but again, the thing to keep in mind is this stuff can spread and this thing can grow over time. Maybe it doesn't affect Hogwarts Legacy now. Maybe it doesn't affect Hogwarts Legacy at all, but maybe 5-10 years from now, it affects another game that people are excited for. Or maybe it affects Hogwarts Legacy 2. Or maybe it affects another bigger website that's not as big as YouTube, but bigger than ResetEra. See where I'm getting at? These are the things that happen in the real world that people don't always pay attention to, these ramifications of this. It may sound kind of small and unconsequential that, oh, you can't talk positive about a game. I would argue that's massive, though. Telling you that you can't repost things when you can repost things for anything else, and telling you, well, if you want to talk about the controversies in a negative way, you can totally do that, but you can't say anything good about this game. That is setting a terrible example. So, here's an example. And this isn't like a confirmed thing, but what about like The Last of Us? So people despised a lot of, not everybody, and I wouldn't even say half and half, but let's say it for fun. Half the people hated The Last of Us Part 2. Half the people love it. Is ResetEra gonna make a decision on, well, you know what? There's just too much positivity, or there's too much negativity. You can only talk positive about this game now, or you can only talk Imagine if they did that for Last of Us. Oh, you know, there's a lot of people that hate this game. Let's just ban all positive things about it, and let's just do negative. And again, that's a wild one, and hopefully you guys understand kind of where I'm coming from. I don't see too many comments of like, well, you're taking it too far this way or that way. Hopefully you guys get that these are far out examples, but you can see how they apply, and you can see how they could definitely become issues as time goes on. So, you know, it's just something to keep an eye on. I'm obviously very positive on Hogwarts Legacy. I don't care about the J.K. Rowling stuff. We've talked about J.K. Rowling. This lead designer, I kind of have his back, I feel almost like now, based off all of the stuff that's happened to him. I kind of feel like the need to defend this guy because I kind of feel bad for him. So, you know, these are things to keep in mind. I'm going to keep being positive when, you know, positive things happen. I'll be negative. I mean, I will call a game out when there's negative stuff. But you know what? These controversy things, they mean a lot to like 5 to 10 people. They mean a lot to the Twitter mob. They mean a lot to these just lunatics that, and I talked about this before, they mean a lot to the people that aren't going to get the game in the first place. And, you know, again, we talk about it with this designer guy, right? That the people that read Kotaku, a lot of these people, they're not going to get Hogwarts Legacy. Are you kidding me? They're just writing a clickbaity thing, like a big topic to appease their fans. Nobody else. The people that are going to buy this game, they don't care about the lead designer. Who in God's name cares about the lead designer? What he makes videos on? Does he make a good game? If the game sucks, then we can call out the game. But you don't call out the lead designer for videos he makes. Who in God's name cares? So you have that. But you know what? ResetEra just took it a step forward and said, you know what? Well, we care. We are so offended because we're such babies. We're so offended by J.K. Rowling and this guy. We suck our thumbs at night. We literally cannot handle it. We're having mental breakdowns. We need to stop. In fact, actually, we need to keep talking negatively about it to make ourselves feel good. We need to make an echo chamber so we feel good about talking about the negativity. We don't want to hear anything. You like Hogwarts Legacy? Get out of the country. I mean, again, like, these are all, a lot of this stuff is jokes, but I mean, this is basically what they're saying. There's some people that are so offended by what they did that they want to feel good by attacking them, and they've literally just made their palace, their ResetEra forums, they just made it all pro attacking them. And if you say anything positive, oh, you ruined their Wonderland. You ruined their Disney World. Get the heck out. Why are you even here? Right? That's literally. So I wish I said this earlier because I actually think this is more nailing it than what I said earlier. But hopefully you guys watched it all the way through. Hopefully you guys like this. I love talking about this stuff. Honestly, I could talk about this stuff for 20, 30, 40 minutes. And I won't. I'll stop here. But let me know in the comments below, guys. What do you think? Are you on ResetEra? Do you even care? Just see where I'm coming from? Anything you guys want to talk about, let me know in the comments. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you guys have the bell icon turned on so you know when all these videos go up. Thank you all so much for watching. I truly, truly do appreciate your support. Even, by the way, if you hate me, if you like me, I don't ban people unless they do something really terrible, okay? So I am one that does want to hear all the different sides. I'm not ResetEra, so I think that's probably important to note as well. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all in the next video.